Hello and thank you for watching. My name is Nathan, and today I'm bringing you my Nebuchadnezzar EDH deck tech. Nebuchadnezzar is a 5 CMC 3/3 legendary human wizard who says tap X, tap him, name a card. Target opponent reveals X cards from his or her hand at random, and you discard all cards. They discard all cards of that chosen name. You can name basic land with this, which is really nice. And to go with that whole discard theme, we have a whole selection here of different discard outlets and ways to make my opponents discard cards. Usually discard, I want to say, is frowned upon in EDH, but I claim to have it as a strategy. It seems okay to me. Discard is just another way to lose, just like mill. I'll pick this up. This thing's real nice. It's shiny. So we're playing a whole bunch of specters. When things go to the graveyard, things get dealt damage. We're playing cards that give our opponents cards, so that way we have cards to discard. We've got other mill. We have evasive creatures. Shadow is something you don't see very often in EDH, unless you're playing with other people that have like ninjas, or the other one you don't really see a whole lot of is horsemanship. We have more damage. We have graveyard hate. We have bounce effects for blocking. We have Narset, so that way people can't outvalue us. We have Davriel for more damage. If people start to outvalue us, they start to get hurt for it. It's also removal. Being able to play the top card of our deck is pretty useful when we're always discarding cards. May that be symmetrical effects where we all discard cards, or single target discard effects where I have to discard X cards to do something else. As there is weirding, I put this in this because it lets me see my opponent's hands with Nebuchadnezzar, so I can specifically name cards, even though it's random, so you technically still have to try to name as many as possible unless you're really unlucky. But the reason I have this is so you can pay the 2 life and make it so your opponent just doesn't draw cards. You see a card you don't want your opponent to have, just put it in the graveyard. Seer's Vision does a similar version of Zera's Weirding, where you can choose a card from it and they have to discard it if you sacrifice this at sorcery speed. Then Telepathy is probably the weakest version of all of it. Graveyard Hate. Mana Rock. And the 12-hour counters, I think, will help and let you draw more cards, which is good, because you're going to be using a lot of your resources to keep your opponent off theirs. Ramp. Well, land. Finding things, because we're only playing 31. Ramp. Skull Cage, that's more symmetrical discard effects for damage. Bag of Holding works when I discard cards, so that way I can put them in my bag of holding and then put them back in my hand. Library of Ling lets me choose what to discard to the top of my deck or to the graveyard. It makes it so any wheel effects are way better for me than they are for anybody else. This is going to let me refill everybody's hand and let me specifically play more lands, as long as my opponents can't outramp me, we'll be okay. More discard effects. Tainted Spectre is an old Spectre. He's got some really cool art. I can't get over that. It's just super cool. He doesn't do the normal Spectre thing of hit you, discard, but he makes it so they discard a card and they put the top card of the library in the graveyard, and then you can also deal damage. The original Spectre, just discard at random. When he enters the battlefield, target opponent discards random, and then they take damage too. When he enters the battlefield, discard. Reveal and discard. Assassin. Since it only says opponent, only one person, if you're picking on somebody, has to have no cards in hand. He becomes a 5/5 flyer for 4 and makes them discard more cards. Card revealing. Counter spells just in case you don't have a discard card. Bounce spells in case they get around your counter spells. Bounce spells in case they get around your counter spell. And discard cards. You gotta find cards and counter cards. Put them back on the top of the deck where they can draw them, and then you can make them discard them. Or you can make them be sad and put them back on top of the deck again. Whirlwind Denial. I got this because it's really cool. It's super good for playing against Storm decks. Factor Fiction is more card draw. Search for the Count's Castle / Thirst for Discovery is just more card draw. And the Royal Bounce is permanents. It's classic negate. Blink of the Eye bounces permanents. Tellurian Winds with the pre-aforementioned cards of the Library of Ling and the Bag of Holding make this card amazing. You just get to draw free cards. As long as they don't blow up your bag or your library. Multi-purpose counter spell. You want some more cards? Wheel. Black Sun. Because we play creatures, but we definitely don't care too much about our creatures.
I don't know that.
Test Cruelty is more discard. Raven's Crine turns lands into discard. Artillery Flow. We do have the one and only vampire in the deck. So if we get the extra 2 life, that's cool. Cypher Mind draws his cards and makes opponents discard. Duress, when you have to really pick something out. Windfall is more wheel effects. Ingurik's Wake. One-sided board wipe. One-sided discard 2. Vicious Rumors. I really want to make this card work. I just love the art. I love what it does. I think more people should play this card in EDH. Confounded Conundrum. So this is going to draw me cards, and anybody who's trying to outramp me will not outramp me because they have to bounce cards. Megrum is classic discard outlet stuff. Damage, all that fun stuff. This is why I play all the bounce cards. More discard damage. Raider's Wake is more discard damage. Oubliette. We're going to talk about this card. Well of Ideas is super cool. It's draws me extra cards during my turn and gives opponents extra cards unless I have the other pieces out, and then they don't get anything. But it gives them extra cards for me to discard. So, Oubliette. Oubliette is a super powerful magic card, and I think more people should play this card. Being able to phase out someone's commander is amazing. They don't get to put it back in their command zone. It just phases out. It's gone. So, if they're playing black, black doesn't have a real way to deal with Oubliette. They kind of do. Now they have 2 cards, I think, that are in their color. And then red has no way to deal with Oubliette at all. Have fun with that. Think what you will. Thank you. Have a good day.